I just wanted to give some pros and cons for having a breast reduction. I'm going to start with the cons. So, of course, the first one is the risk of surgery. Anything can happen while you're under anesthesia. The first con, of course, is you take the risk of having surgery, and anything can happen to you while you're under the anesthesia. The next one would be post-op pain. You're going to be in pain, you're going to be uncomfortable, so you have to deal with everything that comes with the post-op pain and taking your medications. The next would be the long recovery. So there's a long recovery period. You might feel better 3 or 4 days after surgery or a week after surgery, but you're still recovering, you're still healing, you still have open wounds, you have sutures and tape, depending on what your surgeon does. So there's a long recovery period. The recovery period can last anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months. Everybody is different. So that's one of the cons, is the long recovery. And during recovery, you have limited mobility. You can't reach above your head for a certain amount of time. You can't reach for things in general. You have to mind how much weight you're carrying. You may be restricted to not lift over 5 to 10 pounds for a certain period of time. So you have a lot of restrictions. I couldn't even take out my own trash. I might be able to wash dishes, but I couldn't put them up. I couldn't reach for certain things in my closet. A lot of things I had to bring down to had to bring down to a lower level before surgery because I knew I wasn't going to be able to reach it. So you have to deal with those limitations. You may also end up with complications like your incisions opening, bleeding, infection. Anything can happen during that post-op period. Anything can happen up until the point where you're fully healed. You may have scars. Some people scar worse than others. You might end up with keloids. So that's one thing that you may not want to risk. Some people's scars are really good. They use scar creams and tapes, gels. There's oils, but it's really going to all depend on your skin, how your body works. And then you have to deal with body image issues. You're going to look totally different after surgery. And for some people, that might be better. For some people, that feels good and they may really like it. And for other people, it's a big adjustment. It was an adjustment for me. So although I was happy with my results, I still had an adjustment period. I still had to really get used to how I looked. Another thing that I ran into post-op was removing so much breast tissue. It does affect your hormones. And I've had issues from that. So I'm having issues with acne. My face is really oily. My menstrual cycles are messed up. I don't know what's going on. So removing a lot of breast tissue does affect other areas of your body as well. So that's another con to having the surgery. So for the pros, you have this weight removed from your chest that was pretty much holding you down. You should have less back, shoulder, neck pain. My fingers used to go numb. That was from the weight that I had pulling on my chest, pulling on my spine. So I don't have that anymore. I have fewer headaches. What else? I didn't have a lot of sensation in my breast before surgery, and now I have all the sensation. A lot of people end up with less sensation or none after the surgery, and I was the opposite. I didn't have very much sensation before, and now I have sensation everywhere after. Another pro would be you can find clothes that actually fit you the way you anticipate them fitting. A lot of times when you have a larger chest, you'll go to buy a shirt or a dress, and you know how you want it to look, but it may not look that way on you because of how large your chest is, especially if your breasts aren't proportioned to the rest of your body. You end up having to mix and match swimsuits and stuff like that because you need a way bigger top than you need bottoms. So now you can find things that actually fit the proportions of your body. Now you can find things that actually fit the way you want them to without having to mix and match. You have a better variety of bras. That's if you want to wear a bra. I don't really want to after I finish healing, but if you want to wear bras, you have a better variety. You have more colors than just the typical like black, white, and beige that you get when you have larger bras. And some companies do have prettier bras for larger sizes, but not everyone. You know, you don't have to lift your boobs to take a shower. You don't have to lift your breasts in the shower to wash underneath them anymore. You don't have to deal with like the chafing and the underboob rashes, underboob sweat. You don't have to deal with any of that anymore because now they're all lifted up. They're not laying up against your abdomen. And the last one I'm going to say is a pro and a con, because you get to buy new clothes and new bras if you want them. I mean, it's a pro because you get to shop. It's a con because money. You have to spend a lot of money to buy clothes that fit. I went back to work and I had to actually go shopping to find shirts that fit me to wear to work. But now none of my shirts fit. So that is a pro and a con. You get to go shopping, but you got to spend money. But that's it. That's all I have. Just wanted to give those pros and cons of having a breast reduction. Overall, I'm really happy about my decision now. The body image stuff is much better. I'm used to what they look like now. I'm no longer like surprised when I look in the mirror. I feel good. I was able to work out this week. I ran for the first time since surgery, and it was good. So I don't regret it at all now. So if you're looking to do it, examine all the pros and cons for you and make a good decision for yourself. Bye.